Hello, you're watching NNN on the Nintendo News. This is a gaming show where we keep you up to date with the latest Nintendo related gaming news. The latest gaming news. The latest gaming news. The latest gaming news. On today's show, SEGA. Yes, SEGA are digging deep into their back catalogue of games and they are reviving some of their most highly regarded classic franchises from the SEGA golden age of gaming. Yes, we're going to play that footage of Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi and Shinobi have leaked online and we'll be taking a look at it. We're going to be taking a look. Good old SEGA. You know, there was nothing more that I loved back in the day than popping in a Mega Drive game or a Dreamcast game and hearing SEGA! I loved it. Back in the day, SEGA hands down were top 3 video game developers of all time. They were in my top 3 video game developers of all time. Like, oh my god, SEGA is the owner of some of the best video game franchises ever in the history of gaming. SEGA were equal to Nintendo. Like, they were pioneers. They were pioneering. SEGA games were innovative. They were as experimental as Nintendo. Like, they are home to so many classic games. Alex the Kid, Shinobi, Sonic, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Space Harrier, Outrun, House of the Dead, Super Monkey Ball, Space Channel 5. Like, they have so many good games, but then somewhere along the way, they stopped making them. They stopped updating these games. We stopped receiving new installments of these games. And then SEGA just went dead. And now it's all Football Manager and just rubbishness. Boring. But now SEGA are having a revival! Yes! SEGA are making a comeback and they are reviving some of their most beloved franchises and IP ever! I mean, to be honest, this is really old news. SEGA announced this ages ago, last year at the Video Game Awards to be precise. Yes, last December at the 2023 Game Awards show, SEGA announced that they would be reimagining 5 classic IP, including Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Shinobi and Streets of Rage. This is old news. However, we are talking about it now because it looks like someone has leaked some gameplay from some of the games. Let's take a look. SEGA! Now the first game that I'd like to take a look at is Jet Set Radio. Oh my god, yes, the cult classic game is making a comeback.
It's like this when Allah said let it be light. He also designated poetical brothers with mics for whoever had the skills to possess the gift, combinated with the flavor and it go like this.
Jet Set Radio launched on the SEGA Dreamcast and it just exemplified why the Dreamcast was one of a kind. Oh my god. I feel like the Dreamcast was like the last time SEGA really truly experimented. And Jet Set Radio was one of those games. Jet Set Radio was a roller skating game where you'd have to roller skate around the fictional Tokyo kind of metropolitan urban environment, and you'd have to go around tagging and graffitiing. Had like this crazy combo meter, you could do crazy tricks, crazy stunts. You got chased by police. At the time it was a beautiful game to look at. First time we'd ever seen cell shading. Like, this video game looked like a cartoon. Like, it was just fresh, it was creative. There was nothing else like it out at the time. SEGA did give us a sequel to Jet Set Radio on the Xbox, but it was not that great. No one really bothered about it. I'm not quite sure why that happened. And then we never saw it again. However, it looks like that we've now got some screenshots of what appears to be early in development version of the game. It's appeared on social media. And we also got some video footage. It looks like it's a dev build and it shows the main character Beat and some of the other characters from the franchise all just vibing and dancing. So it turns out that this footage is actually from a remake of Jet Set Radio, as opposed to the other version of Jet Set Radio that's also in development at Sega. That one is supposed to be a free-to-play, massive multiplayer online game. But I'm glad, if it is true that they are making a standalone remake of the original Jet Set Radio, that I can go and pay my money for, and I own that game, and it's a great single-player experience. I'll be happy for that, because I can't rely on this live service game business thing. That doesn't fill me with any hope. SEGA! The next game that also has leaked footage is the next installment in the Crazy Taxi series. Oh my god! Crazy Taxi was such a fun game. I just love the intensity of it. It's just such a fun arcade game, picking up a passenger and just having to drop them off at their destination, all while the time is just ticking out. It's fun, it's fun, it's fun, it's fun. It's been too long since we've had the Crazy Taxi. We should have had regular installments in the Crazy Taxi series, to be honest, especially on the Nintendo Switch. It's prime for Nintendo Switch. Crazy Taxi was one of my favourite racing games back in the day. I used to play it all the time in the arcade. I remember the arcade cabinet, and it had like the little seat that you could sit on, the little yellow seat, and you had the steering wheel, and it was like you were in a taxi. And yeah, Crazy Taxi was great. An arcade racing game where you just have to pick passengers up and drop them off at selected destinations on this big massive map. Well, it turns out that Sega are turning it into a massively online multiplayer game, which kind of might work. It might work. That could be fun. I'm kind of here for it. But let's take a look. This looks fun. Loads of players racing online, competing to rack up the highest score or accumulate the most money from taxi rides.
Alright, it's time to check out how you did today. Now let's take a look.
Yeah, this game will be fun. It looks fun already, and this is just an early build of it. I really hope that they also bring back the advertisements into this game. I remember in the original Crazy Taxi, they had so much advertising in that game. It just helped the game seem a bit more realistic and a bit more fun, do you know what I mean? Dropping someone off at KFC in the game. It was a lot of fun, I enjoyed it. Yeah, so that looks good, that looks great. SEGA! And the last game that we have to take a look at is a very, very early version of the side-scrolling ninja game, Shinobi! This game looks beautiful. I love the whole 2D hand-drawn style. The combat looks great. And this is early development. The game is being developed by Lizard Cube, who are actually the developers of Streets of Rage 4, which, hello! Streets of Rage 4 is an amazing game. They did a solid job handling that classic franchise. So, do your thing with Shinobi, please. I love playing Shinobi. I love playing, you could get a little dog. You had the little dog. I can't remember what the dog did. You could just go and send it out to attack people. Oh my god, yeah, I love Shinobi. Sega, I don't know why they stopped making Shinobi games. I don't know when the last Shinobi game was, but I'm glad it's making a comeback. Sega! So yes, that's just a look at some of the games that Sega are planning to release over. Do you know what, to be honest, they're not even coming out for now. Sega have announced these games, but they have also openly said that these games are potentially years away from being released. The footage that has been leaked supposedly is from 2022. The games have been in development from way before that, and I don't think they're coming out anytime soon. But you know what? Take your time, Sega. Take your time with it, because you can't mess this up. These games are all from Sega's golden age of gaming. These are your legacy franchises. Take care and time. Respect these franchises and treat them with love, please, before you release them. SEGA! And that's what we have time for today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back with another episode and very soon. Up until then, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye! SEGA!